the hearing today for Alec Murdaugh.
A state judge says the state prosecutors must give evidence immediately to the legal team of accused killer Alex Murdaugh.
But the judge also put strict rules on how that evidence can be reviewed by the defense. A lot to unpack and understand. News 19's Rachel Ripp has the latest now live from Walterboro, and it was sort of a complicated legal speak today in court. Rachel, break it down for us.
That is exactly right, Andrea. I was inside the Colleton County Courthouse this morning, this building behind me, for that hearing for Alec Murdaugh in his murder trial. Now, the courtroom was not as full as it was back in July, end of July, for his bond hearing.
A heated back and forth kicked off the motions hearing in Walterboro this morning.
I'm not done. If I could be heard without being interrupted and hijacked by the state as they continue to try to hide the ball on this case. I'm sorry if I appear upset, but I can tell you that every time we turn around, they're trying to hide something.
Murdaugh is charged with murder in the shooting deaths of his wife and adult son back in June of last year. His lawyers were upset because they say they haven't gotten the evidence they wanted from prosecutors in a timely fashion. Today, Alec Murdaugh's team was asking for a motion to compel prosecutors to turn over documents, while prosecutors wanting a protective order that would shield evidence from public view pre-trial. Both pretty much got what they wanted, with the passing of a motion for the prosecutors to bring forward evidence to the defense as soon as possible. For prosecutors, they got a temporary protective order limiting the release of information to the public before a formal order is in place, and putting limits on how Murdaugh's attorneys can review evidence.
The state wants nothing more than to have a fair trial in this case. I don't want to have to try this case more than once. I want to do it right the first time. But having this sort of evidentiary hearing this early on when there's no factual issue in dispute is completely unwarranted. Let's get to the legal issues, and if your honor is satisfied after the legal argument to make a ruling, that's all we need to do here today.
In the courtroom today, Murdaugh's team also accused prosecutors of leaking evidence. The state denied any kind of leak, with Assistant Attorney General Creighton Waters saying there's been no misconduct. Later in the hearing, Harpootlian, Murdaugh's lawyer, asks for permission of laptop access and time for their client to review the evidence made available by the state while he's in custody at a jail near Columbia.
We've talked to the jail folks extensively. The problem is not the laptop. The problem is not access. The problem is getting more than 1 hour every other day.
The state said they're open to the idea, citing that they would just need to assess the laptop provision specifics that the judge said would need to be issued.
Now, as for next steps, Murdaugh's lawyer, Dick Harpootlian, did address media outside of the courthouse. He said that he expects that evidence from the state to be handed to him either today or at the very latest by tomorrow. Now, the county clerk also tells us that she will be dealing with those requests. She will be talking to the judge to deal with other requests from those prosecutors sometime this week. Reporting in Walterboro, Rachel Ripp, News 19 WLTX.